Hey, young black women, I just want to do a small extension to that live that Yanni did tonight talking about the baby mama culture. Let me just say this, okay? Because I know whatever I say is not going to make an issue difference, but I'm gonna just put it out there so that you can't say no one told you, right? I get it. No one wants to listen to the older black women because you don't know enough history about black women, and you think that just like the black males do, because you may have had a certain type of mother and you didn't even take the time to find out what her life was about, you feel like she has let you down in every way possible, and she could never do anything right by you, and everything she does is completely wrong, right? According to what y'all expressed tonight on that live, which was very, very aggravating. But it speaks to the short term understanding, life experience, and not knowing what's coming down the road because you haven't gotten there yet, right? Okay, so this whole thing about trying to blame black women, and that is literally what you're doing with this nonsense about stopping the baby mama culture. This is the bottom line. This is the key to it, okay? You're not going to be able to vet. I know you want to believe that so badly because Cynthia tells you that, this Yanni girl's telling you that, and every other ridiculous black woman who knows better is telling you that ignorance. You will not be able to vet problematic men who do not have any intention of doing right by you simply because you're black. Do you not understand that? Okay. So, I wanted to just add this part about this Yanni girl, she turns to make it seem like marriage is the end all be all. It's going to be the answer to everything. You're never going to find the perfect black male, I dare say any male, okay? But specifically black male who's going to marry you, whether you do all of this imaginary vetting, which is not possible, or anything else where he's going to be the right mate and all this other nonsense she was talking about. She's probably never been married, but I have, right? They don't exist, babe. They don't exist. They don't. There's not a marriage alive where women have not sacrificed and put up with bullshit. They probably, if they were able to live their life without that husband, wouldn't put up with, wouldn't even dare dream of putting up with. But because times change and everybody's life is different, we don't know about exactly how their finances are, what their principles are, and why they hold on to people they should definitely get rid of. But I can guarantee you that every woman who has been married has gotten to the point where she goes, I'm just going to deal with it. That is not in our nature, to be married to some man who looks at you and has been socialized to think about you as property. You have to really understand that about marriage, especially in this world and in this particular country. Anyway, to get back to it, you guys, there's really nothing else to say to you at this point because we're stupid. We're older women. We've lived this life already, but we're dumb. We're not as smart as you because you're young and you know everything, and you know how to do things right because we could never do anything right. You don't suffer through any of the indignities that we had to suffer as being black women because you're exempted, you're special. So you never see, it's crazy because you are black women and you never see the vulnerability, the lack of compassion, the lack of seeing the humanity in that woman as a black woman for another black woman, but yet you run around talking about everything black males do and don't do. and you're just as equivalent to the evil things they do to other black women. Like, not one time when she was talking tonight did she say anything positive about sisterhood between black women and extending compassion towards one another, extending grace, or accepting the fact that people are human beings that are very fragile in whatever personal crisis they're going through, and they need help to get through it. No one is born an adult where they know everything to do the right way. We're all children, grow up to be adults, and the things that happen to us along the way has something to do with who we become. So, just to wrap it up, you guys can keep looking for this fantasy because you just don't want to let it go. No matter how many black women get killed every day, how many little black girls get killed and who are trafficked every day, beat to death, shot in the head, throat slashed, you still want to hang on to this fairy tale white people have taught you about the nuclear family and how you're supposed to live comfortably and feel all warm and fuzzy inside with some black male sitting next to you who's your husband or your significant other. And you don't really seem to realize that that is not a reality for black women in this world, in this country, because of colonialization and white supremacy. You're never going to get that, my dears. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you hate on your mothers and you refuse to see the fragility in their humanity and deal with the fact that they didn't make themselves and they had to adapt to a horrific world that they had to make sense out of. And because they wanted to be loved and feel loved and had to deal with things you will never know what the experience is like, doesn't make them that monster that you keep desperately portraying them out to be. It's disgusting. You have so much sympathy for the very men who are killing you and taking you out of this world every day and humiliating you to the world on this public platform. And yet you have nothing inside of you for women who have carried you, cared for you, and brought you up to where you are today. It speaks to who you are and who your leaders are that you follow on social media. She never has anything positive to say about other black women. It's always negative. Like tonight, black women are liars, they're evil, they're all these things, right? Because as she said in her own words, she used to think all black women were like her. She's probably right. Judgmental, always thinking that the black woman is doing something to you or you got to find a way to sabotage her before she sabotages you. She always has some redeeming quality that she could speak about or find in a black male, but she can't do that for black women. Whew. It's so frustrating because you just won't let it click in your head. There is no fairy tale for black women. It has nothing to do with you personally. It is what the world has done to us collectively. And until you really understand that, you can read all the psychology today all you want. People are conditioned in this world to abuse you. The sooner you understand that, get your guard up against that, and soldier through this world the way you're supposed to, is going to be the only time you find real happiness in this world. But if you keep putting on those glasses of fantasy, thinking that listening to Cynthia and listening to this Yanni girl, you're going to find somebody through all the nonsense in this world that is stacked against you, who's going to go out of their way to be your own personal Prince Charming, you're going to be waiting a lifetime and then some. And I wish you luck with that. Because y'all just don't want to come to grips with reality, but you got all day to try to blame the older black women for everything that's wrong with the entire world and what's wrong with you in your life and your shortcomings the same way black males do. And that's all I got to say on this. and I'm done with it forever. I wish you young women well. I hope you have the same resilience and tenacity us older black women have that you think are the worst things in the world, who are actually your moms. I wish you the best, because you're going to definitely need it when we start detaching ourselves from you, and you are a group that is stuck in between the black males who literally hate you and who are killing you every day, and the black women who are going to realize that you have no respect for them and that you think the absolute worst of them, and you have no respect for them whatsoever. So I wish you luck with that, because you are definitely going to need it.